Okay, here goes. So, this is my first YouTube video. What I'm going to be talking about today is something that I've been thinking about for the last couple months. It's a topic that I care about passionately, and so I'm just going to jump right into it. So let's talk about it. And it's about my journey into adulthood and how I became a man. Okay, quick little sidebar. When I talked about my journey on becoming a man, I actually wanted to say that this is my journey on becoming a man, or at least a version of myself that I feel like I can be proud of. I feel like I'm constantly evolving, and so this is about my journey, and I feel like I am a man that I can be proud of right now, but I still have a lot of improvements to make. And so anyways, I just wanted to clarify that piece. But anyways, let's go back to the video. In my opinion, of course. And so here's my story. And before I get into it, I want to talk about why I'm actually starting this YouTube channel. And when I think about who the audience actually is for. And I think when I think about the why, it's because I wanted to create a diary to my younger self. I want it to be filled with content about the life lessons that I've learned throughout my 20s and to my early 30s. And so I'm 31, turning 32 this year. And who I think this is for is maybe you're in your early 20s, or maybe you're a teenager, and you're growing up in a world with people, with content filled with people like Andrew Tate. Maybe you're surrounded by friends and are being, convinced that being an asshole is, to women, is the way to be a man. And I'm here to tell you it's not. And if you're watching this video, I think you might fall into one of three categories. If you might have grown up with a father that didn't really provide you with a blueprint for what it means to be a man, in my opinion. Or maybe you actually grew up with a father, but without a father, but you had access to people in your lives. Maybe it is a teacher, or even a family friend, somebody that you looked up to and you admired. Or maybe you grew up with a father, without a father, and you didn't have access to a male role model or anyone that you can actually, connect with on a deeper level. Or if you're lucky, maybe you've actually grown up in a household with a father and, parents that were there, and you had access to everything that you actually needed. And so I think this is for anyone really, but I just wanted to tell my story to my younger self and just talk about my journey. And I think before I continue, it's really important, so this channel is really going to be about what I'm calling positive masculinity, and I didn't come up with this term myself. I think it's a term that I've been hearing on the internet a lot, especially with the rise of people like, with this term of negative masculinity. And for me, positive masculinity is all about being strong. And I don't mean being the strongest person in the room. When I talk about being strong, I'm talking about being the strongest version of yourself, being able to be true to yourself and be true to your values, whatever those values actually are. The other point is about being kind. I think being kind to other people, especially women, is something that I think, in my opinion, should be a part of what it means to be a man, but really just being kind to others in general. And I think the other third category is around having a core set of values. Principles that you stand behind. For me, these are things like being empathetic towards other people, being a good role model. And if that is too broad, then I like to think about it in the sense of, if you were to have kids, not everyone wants to have kids, but how you would expect them to be treated. I feel like there is a universal way for how people want to be treated. And ultimately, I feel like it has to do with being treated with respect, feeling like you have a seat at the table, feeling like people have autonomy over their own decisions, and not feeling judged. I wanted to talk a little bit about my background as well, because I think we all come from different backgrounds, and I think being able to understand where people come from forms a lot of how we think. And one thing I also want to emphasize on this channel is that everything I'm talking about is just my opinion based off of my own experience, and your experience might be different. And so I grew up in a household where I didn't have what I would consider to be an ideal male role model in my life, at least not in the way that I wanted. And I was very lucky. I had two parents that have been, there for me. And also I had all my basic needs met. So I had, a house, able to have, food. I never had to worry about shelter, and my dad, in many aspects, there were a lot of great things about him, for sure, but there were also a lot of areas which I didn't agree with, and ultimately, led to, breakdown of my own parents' marriage. And I think a lot of what I've been going through in my life recently has been figuring out what's actually important to me. And so I'm here to share some of those things with the world. And this is my first video. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes in this. Probably going to be nervous. I'm nervous right now. But yeah, if you want to come to a place where you can actually hear about someone's own journey and the mistakes that they've made along the way, and also what I think it means to be a man, then I think you've come to the right place. I'm going to be making videos like this for the next 10 years. That's the number that I've set out for myself. And I'm going to aim to do at least one video a month. It might be, varying. It's going to vary in length. Some videos, maybe it's only going to be 2 minutes. Other ones might be 10 or longer. But that's the goal that I've set out for myself, is to make videos for the next 10 years. And I don't really care how many people watch it. If you find value in it, great, keep coming back. If not, then feel free to take a look elsewhere. But yeah, this is just about my journey. And so here's video number 1.